And welcome back to Ozarks Live. And we're lucky enough today to be talking with local author Andy Willoughby. Great to have you here. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Now, we're going to talk about your book there in just a second, The Reluctant Bachelor. But let me ask you this. Give us a little bit of your history as far as how you got into writing, that sort of thing.
Well, I got into the radio business when I was 18. And actually, the first time I wrote was in fourth grade, and I was writing a song. And we wrote songs in the fourth grade when I was going to Gordon Elementary. It was a 22 kids in the whole school of 8 grades.
Oh my!
And for fun, some of us wrote songs that one year, and the teacher would let us perform them. The next year we got a new teacher, and I said, "Hey, here's a song we'd want to say." She says, "We don't have time for that," and that was the last of my songwriting.
Okay, but did you think that maybe started sending you on that path where you like to create?
Yeah, I was creative from then on, probably. And I got in the radio business when I was 18. My first job was in Joplin, Missouri, WMBH. It was a country western radio station, probably is today. I was 18. I was coming from Kansas City, and that was when country wasn't cool.
You're right.
But I learned to like it, and that was where I got started. Spent the rest of my life pretty much in the radio broadcasting industry, a little bit of TV.
So, well, you got the voice for it. I can hear that timbre in your voice. Well, now, of course, The Reluctant Bachelor, that's something you've got right now, but you have other things that you have written, have published. Well, tell me a little bit about that, if you will.
Well, the other book I wrote was Why Aren't We Rich Yet?
Good.
And it was a book on how to work from home. People get into work from home businesses, and they expect to get rich right away, but it takes work. It takes some study.
It's still work.
Yeah, it's still work. Nothing's free. You gotta do it. And so I just gave some background on how to do it because I'd been pretty successful in building home-based businesses, and so I'd enjoyed it, and so I thought, write a book and help people.
That's great. My question is, why don't I have that flying car I'm supposed to have by now? Okay, let's talk a little bit about The Reluctant Bachelor. Talk to me about that because, it's hope and inspiration for people that, well, especially during this time we need it, but throughout life.
Well, this came about because I lost my high school sweetheart. We'd been married for 47 years. I was 17 when I met her. She was 15. We met in a high school assembly, and I met and we talked, and I walked her to her next class and told my best friend I just met the girl I was going to marry. And we walked together from then on out, and she passed away 5 years ago, February the 9th. So. So
that's the phrase "hole in your heart," that kind of thing. Does this, because things like this have happened to other people, is this guide maybe to help people deal with that hole or fill that hole, or what kind of advice are you giving people here? Well,
basically, this is just what happened in my life. I just took them through the last 5 years of my life, the pain and everything I felt, but yet at the same time, the fun stuff, the happy stuff, how I get through this, how I got through that. Because when you lose somebody, especially someone that close, I mean, we grew up together, spent our lives together. Last 15 years, we worked business together. We were together 24 hours a day. I mean, I didn't know where to go. I mean, the term people use a lot of times when they lose someone is they're lost. And you're lost. And you don't know, when you're lost, what are you? You don't know where you are or where you're going.
Right.
And that's the way you feel. And that first year, you don't know nothing. I mean, you're basically nuts. I mean, you don't make sense. The first 3 months, I don't remember. I just have glimpses of what actually happened the first 3 months after she died. And the emotion and the things that happened. The day I found her, I described that in the book. The day I found her, I came home from coffee and she was in the bathroom. And I described that. And like I say, this book has comedy, it has romance, the love letter to Brenda. I found it really helped me to write a love letter to my wife in heaven. And that meant a lot. And then I just tell the whole story in here. And some of it's funny, it's comedy, it's romance, there's suspense.
All relationships are.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a little very... Now, I mean, I would love to be able to discuss this more because this brings up so many questions. But, for people who would like to know how do they find this book?
It's on Amazon. Go to Amazon.com, and it's called The Reluctant Bachelor, Grief Unfiltered, Learning to Smile with a Hole in Your Heart.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here. And this sounds like a story that I think people need to share. Thank you so much.
All right. Good to meet you, Tom.
All right, up next, we're taking a look back at one of our favorite memories of CES 2020 in honor of CES 2021. You don't want to miss out on the fun. We'll be right back.